Hello everyone, Deanna and I are here to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about our Tim tip of the day, and then our Tim talk of the day is going to be about the healing process, the healing journey, and with the medical medium protocols and what we're experiencing now. So we're going to start with the Tim tip of the day, something light and easy again. We could also talk about how we're both wearing the same color.
We didn't plan it. We never do. We never do plan it. And it was so wild because I was here first. And when Deborah pulled up in her car, I could see out the window that you had a bright orange on. And when she walked in and she had the bright orange on, I was like, wow. And you saw me for the first time.
Yeah, and then when I, came down the hallway and I saw Deanna, I was like, of course.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
It's so great. And she didn't even know that I had this.
I know, that's new. I hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah.
So I, when I dress in the morning, it's last minute. So how do I feel? What's the weather like? Those are the things that I'm asking myself. Or how do I want to feel? We've talked about that.
Right.
So the talk is about how do we want, the tip is about how do we want to feel?
How do we want to feel every day? And we are the captains of that.
Yeah, we get to decide.
We get to decide.
Yeah. And we can change our moods depending on what we're wearing, what we do, what we do in the morning, how we take care of ourselves. And then it is all about presenting yourself to yourself.
Just for yourself, not for anybody else.
Right. So that every time you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror, you love what you see.
Yeah.
And
that you really,
and you smile.
Right. Instead of like if you're rushing around in the morning and you just get ready really quickly and you don't do your makeup, you just do minimal. And that every time you look at yourself in the mirror, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I wish I felt better, or wish I looked better. Well, you got to take the time in the morning.
Yeah, and with Tim, it's easy.
Yeah, it's very easy.
It's less than 5 minutes. I had a client come in yesterday, and she had told me that she purchased Tim a year ago. She doesn't come in often for her eyebrows. And so I said, so why aren't you wearing it today? So we talked about how she has a hybrid schedule with her work and that 3 days a week she goes into the office. I said, was today a home day? Because typically, my clients who work from home will come in without any makeup on and
with their sweats.
Not really dressed. And so she was dressed and it was still casual, not sweatpants. And so she said, it was an office day. And I said, how come, why didn't you do your makeup? And she just said, I just don't do it every day. And so she's not in the habit of doing it every day. And also she may have never worn makeup before she purchased him, or she was never in the habit of putting makeup on every day. So it's all about changing, and it's easy to change ourselves. It's easy to change ourselves and create new habits that make us feel good.
That's what we're doing.
And it's not just about the makeup, it's also about what we put in our bodies.
Right.
And what we put on our bodies and how we think.
What we do in the morning, to prepare for the day. Like I just started again really doing a 20-minute meditation every day. And the best thing for me to do is to get in the tub. And with the water energy, it really helps me to relax. And that way I can do a breathing exercise and get into a meditation and then set my intentions for the day. How do I want my day to be? I want it to be smooth flowing. I want it to be easy. I want it to have heart connections with everybody that I meet. I want to enjoy the day, and it's going to be peaceful and easy and smooth. And also what you eat, and we forget, we're so busy that we don't even, we just forget to eat. I forget to eat. And so I do my 32 ounces of lemon honey water, and then I'll do my celery juice and heavy metal detox smoothie.
Yeah, and so that's a habit.
It's a habit.
We developed that habit because we wanted to feel better. And so
nothing's more important than how you feel.
no, not at all.
Nothing's more
and
important.
it's easy. It's easy when you know what to do. So here we are guiding you along the way and just sharing with you what we do on a daily basis. And so I asked my client, I said, can I just put the tinted moisturizer on you? And this is step number 2. So another thing I want to mention is that one of the things about Tim is that we have only 6 products in our line.
Yes.
The tinted moisturizer is the only product that has a variation of shades. And there's only 3. And if you look at other cosmetic companies, you'll see that they have a very wide range of skin tones. Deanna and I have been doing makeup for over 30 years. And we noticed when we started our first company in the 80s, in the late 80s, and we had all of those shades.
We did.
We noticed that most women fit into the mid-range shades.
And that's when I decided that we could create a line that was universal.
Yes.
That would be the same colors on everybody.
Yeah, but we were using primer, foundation, just all of the steps. And that was one thing. I had a client last week come in and she said, it's so easy. It's so easy. It takes less than 5 minutes.
Yes.
I loved him. She was just singing the praises of this magical makeup technique.
And you might have
products.
to, I know in the beginning I had to talk myself into doing it. Just do it, Deanna. I know you only have a couple minutes, but just do your makeup.
Yes.
And I
it's
had
that self-talk.
I had to encourage myself to do it every morning, no matter what. And I did it on the weekends too.
Yeah. And so when you get in that, then it's a habit. Okay. And then we're
Then
going
now I
into
can think about it.
summertime. So we don't need as much as we do in the winter. We don't need as much makeup as we do in the wintertime. And so it's so much easier in the summertime. Well, thank goodness we're going into the summertime. And so I put the tinted moisturizer on her. She felt so much better. She's like, yeah, that's really easy.
Yeah.
So tinted moisturizer, your brows are groomed, and a little bit of lip color. And on those days when you don't want to do it or you don't feel like doing it,
Just do that.
Just do that, or start out with that.
Yeah.
Just start out with that. Just the step 2. If you've bought the kit and you're not using all 4 steps and that is blocking you, even thinking about doing all 4 steps, it's blocking you from doing anything, then start with step number 2. So we're here to tell you that it's okay if you just start with step number 2, especially if you're a woman who's never worn makeup, or has not been in the habit of putting makeup on.
And
start with step number 2.
That was our client this morning. She had seen Deborah 2 weeks ago. Deborah sculpted her eyebrows and tinted them. She came in for her follow-up tint, and she's an outdoors woman, and so she had some redness in her cheeks, and you could tell she was out in the sun a lot. And she came in from Albion, which is like an hour away, and she was going to have lunch with some friends. And it's a beautiful day. It's sunny, beautiful, warm. And I said to her, oh, did Deborah show you the Tim 2 weeks ago? And she said, yes. I said, well, what did you think? And she said, I loved how it made my eyes pop. But I'm just going to start with the brows because, she had never done anything before.
Yeah.
I said, well, would you mind if I put just the tinted moisturizer on you today? You're going to go have lunch and you'll be out in the sun, so because of the SPF. And so she said, no, not at all. So I put it on her and I said, this is the step that we tell people to start with. Just start with this, do this every day. So I was checking her out with her brows, and sure enough, she was like, give me the tint. I want to start with the tint.
It's so simple, very simple. So that's all you need to do.
There's 3 colors, light, medium, and deep. And Linda this morning was medium.
Yes, and some of us are transitioning from winter to summer, so we're getting a little bit of color, but we don't have our summer color yet. So we use our winter color, which might be the fair, and then add a little natural, and you just put the pumps on the end of the brush. So it's one pump of each when you're transitioning into your new shade. Or you may use more of your winter shade and just a little bit of your summer shade. And so you will know when you put it on if everything is blending. I saw a client yesterday whose face was naturally much darker than her neck. And because of her neckline and what she was wearing yesterday, I brought the tinted moisturizer down onto her neck. And so because we're starting to wear things away from our neck up here in the Northeast, and so it's not gonna come off or wear off on anything. And so it's just keeping everything. You wanna always have it look very similar. It's never going to look exact, but very similar. So it's super easy. Don't complicate it.
Nope.
Don't overcomplicate it. Don't get overwhelmed.
2 seconds to do it.
Yes.
Tell yourself,
well, it's a little bit more than 2 seconds.
Well,
so I'm going to say 30 to 45 seconds. I'm more literal. So about 30 seconds.
30 seconds
to apply.
So tell yourself, it's only going to take you 30 seconds.
I know. That's that's self-talk.
Just do it.
Yeah.
And you talk to yourself that way, that as you would to a child. You can do it. You can do it, Deanna.
Yeah. So which brings us right into the talk. On Sunday, we did this wonderful hike, and it was the first time I had done this hike. I had no idea what it was going to be like. My daughter had done it before, but she did not give me any details about the hike, and I'm always game for everything.
Yeah.
Well, Sunday I was it had been a very busy week, so I was a little tired.
I was tired.
We got there, and I'm telling you, it was like an incline, like this. The hike was. Right in Naples, New York, which is a really beautiful area, hills and lakes and everything. It's so
waterfalls.
pretty. Yeah, and so we started the hike up, and my daughter had prepared all of our food. So we
all had backpacks.
Yeah, we all had backpacks. They weren't too heavy.
Water and food.
Yeah, and so we started the trek up, and I had to stop often.
Yeah.
And I never gave up. As tired as I was, whenever I got tired, I would sit down.
Yeah.
And then just rest for a few minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. So it took us an hour to get up that hill. And then at the top, there was this big open field. I think you have pictures. Do you have pictures on your phone? You don't have? Okay. So that's your phone right there.
Oh yeah.
So
you have pictures on your phone.
Yeah, and
of me eating.
Yeah, but anyway, it was a beautiful. You can get the picture. An open,
we'll put them in the email.
Grassy meadow, and we just sat down and started eating. We had lettuce wraps with what was in it was
cooked potato. And
steamed potato,
and cucumber and onion, and really julienne cut cucumber, onion, carrots.
So it was easy. It was easy to eat. We just had it. Just put it together as we were eating it, and of course we had water, and so we sat there for probably a good half hour, I would say. At least. It was so beautiful. The sun was shining, and so when we finished, we rested our food for a little bit, and we finished, and we started the trek down. And it only took 15 minutes to get down.
It was so funny.
And it was just such a great metaphor for life, and how we are and how we do things. That there are some things that seem insurmountable when you're going through it,
especially when you're tired.
And
I still had been recovering from this respiratory virus.
So sometimes it's just knowing when to rest
and honoring your body, because our bodies talk to us.
Instead of pushing through it.
Because I always did that. Always push, and then I would collapse at the end of the week.
Or at the end of the day. And so we have to take those breaks during the day. And especially living this lifestyle where we're not eating all of the empty calories that fill us up and make us feel full. We definitely have the energy to do all of this, but we do have to eat We have to eat,
often.
you know.
We have to eat more often.
Yeah, and we have to eat more.
We have to eat more.
Yeah, so people who love food, I mean, are real foodies, when you get into this lifestyle, it's you can eat as much as you want.
Also, because your tastes change. I mean, I've never appreciated fresh, organic fruits and vegetables like I do now, ever. And even like potatoes, I never eat many potatoes. But the potatoes, everything tastes so good.
It does, yeah.
It's
With
so
potatoes,
flavorful.
and when you're steaming the potatoes, you don't need anything on them
they're
or
so
with them.
delicious.
They're so delicious on their own. And I would, I remember, because my daughter was always like maybe 10 steps ahead of me in this healing process. And she would be sitting there putting potatoes in these lettuce wraps or the nori wraps. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. It just did not look appealing or appetizing to me at all.
No.
And now I love them.
Yes.
So that's what's so interesting about the process, because
and it's so simple.
It is when we the food, my eating, my meals, everything has become so much simpler. And that is because we have all the choices of fruits and vegetables, but you have to pretty much stay with what's in season. We don't have to completely stay what's in season, thankfully, because of some of the food sources that we have.
And we can freeze it too.
Yeah.
We can freeze stuff from the summer.
Yeah, yes, and can it also. I'd like to get into that this summer, so we'll have to see if that happens this year.
Each year we're adding something new.
Yeah.
It's a process. It's a process, and you have to remember that. And I just want to say, a client came in yesterday who I hadn't seen in several months, and she's been doing the lemon balm.
Lemon balm or lemon
The lemon
water?
balm tincture.
Oh, okay.
So she does the lemon balm tincture morning, noon, and night. And it helps to relax her. It helps for her to feel relaxed. I know I saw you take some just before we started.
Yeah. Because you had shared some information with me that was not very positive.
No.
And I had to reframe myself before I came on video, and that helps a lot. The lemon balm tincture, we'll put the link. Everything we talk about, the links are going to be in the description. And so we're going to talk about how we have integrated all of these new ideas and these new ways of helping ourselves, and being who we were born to be, and not who society has made us to be. And that's a big part of Tim also, is the individuality, and really expressing our individuality and being who we are,
being you,
and not comparing ourselves to anyone else, or trying to be like somebody else, or trying to look like somebody else, but to really celebrate and it's not really celebrate, it's be really happy with who we are and
that's
who we
all
were
what I
born to
want.
be.
That's all I want is to be happy with me.
Yes.
Because when you're happy with yourself, you're happy with everyone else.
Yeah.
So
it's just beautiful. Like when you give love to yourself first, it's easier to give love to other people.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Yeah.
When you feel the love for yourself, you can begin to feel the love for others. And it's not what you say or what you do, it's a feeling.
Yeah, and we need to stop apologizing for everything.
Yeah, ladies.
There is, it's interesting because it's not just ladies. I saw two pretty well-known YouTube people men talking about the apology culture.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the apology culture, apologizing for everything. So it isn't just women who do it, we all do it. And we apologize too much. And so one of the things that Deanna and I have said is that when we apologize for things that, we didn't do anything wrong, so you're apologizing for what other people are doing, or it's just when you catch yourself doing it, you're actually giving your power away. And so when I know that for me, when we came up with that concept, I'm sure we didn't come up with it. There are, but when we realize that when we say we're sorry for everything, we're giving our power away. And so,
and this is the time. This is the time to take your power back.
Yes.
And that's what Tim is, connecting with your power that's already here. So it's not even taking it back. It's like rediscovering.
Yeah, rediscovering. It's almost like it's an introduction. But
and
rediscovering.
that's what Tim. This is me. This is me. and be happy with me.
Perfect. That's it for today. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
watching, and we look forward to
love
seeing
you
you
all.
next week.
Thank you for the
Yes.
comments. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you so much for sharing your stories with us as well. Really appreciate it. Leave any comments you want and like our video.
And we'll see you next
week. Bye now.
Bye.
Thank you.